shall be vested in a National Assembly of the Federation, which shall consist of a Senate and House of Representatives. Number 2, the National Assembly shall have powers to make laws for the peace, order, and good government of the Federation or any part thereof, with respect to any matter included in the exclusive list set out in Part 2. Mr. President, sometimes in December, the United States of America, via its military, took a hit into Nigerian territory, which is a complete violation of this document, which you also to protect, which is a complete breach of the United Nations Charter. Mr. President, the only person under this constitution where powers are vested in him to give an order for a hit in any part of Nigeria is, of course, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Nigerian Armed Forces. Mr. President, the title of Commander-in-Chief of the Nigerian Armed Forces is not ceremonial. It is not a guy thing. It is to give the President such powers to control the armed forces and give them order. Even the President himself cannot and shall not, under this constitution, ask a foreign power from any part of the country to hit into Nigeria. What the President can do is to ask those military to come into Nigeria and align with their local forces and give them the right to take a hit. Mr. President, if you allow this matter, the executive refused to talk about it, or they say that they were told. The executive acts, but the legislature must talk. In spite of the good intention of the American military, in spite of whatever achievement that they hit made, Mr. President, if we continue to say that the National Assembly that is vested with these powers under Part 4 and will remain mum. Mr. President, this assembly has a core responsibility in governance. This assembly has a core accountability in governance. This assembly is not an appendage of the executive. This assembly is not a department of the executive. And therefore, for every action intended, the leadership of the National Assembly must be taken along. It is not right. This is our second day. We have not heard from the chairman of the National Assembly as regards to this serious matter. If we allow this matter to go on like this, the American government is not the only powerful military on the face of the earth. If we begin to dilly-dally with this, the Russians wanted something and we refuse, they can take a hit because they are very powerful, they can reach us. The United States Army, military, if we deny them their interests, they can take a hit. The Germans, the French, whatever we do, they can take a hit. Therefore, I have two things that I want to lay before I finish this order. First, the President of the Senate, and indeed the National Assembly leadership, must take a brief from the security agencies as to what happened and why this matter happened. And I hope the leadership will allow the President to hear me. Mr. President, if we allow these things to happen, and we pass a law here that is detrimental to any powerful country, the next thing we hear is that President Akpabio has been hijacked and taken to Guantanamo. Or Deputy Senate President Barrow has been taken out of Nigeria by a powerful military. Or even the Senate leader can be taken away by us. The imperative of this is that once there's a breach of our territorial integrity,
very distinguished Senator.
I'm finishing. The nation, the executive must at all times brief the leadership of the National Assembly. As rapacious as Trump is, he always imbibes the leadership of his assembly before and after an act. And Mr. President, I have no knowledge whatsoever whether the National Assembly is taken alone. Lastly, the American government must be told in clear terms that this is a violation of our territorial integrity. Lastly, sir, the President can at any time invite the Americans or any other power into Nigeria and give a directive to take a hit, but it has to be with our local armed forces. It is no right. It questions our... Mr. President,
if you can allow me to